Okay,
Yeah.
so good morning or afternoon, dear guests. Welcome to our fourth webinar about vertical farming, part of Equine Plus project. With our webinars, we embark on a journey that intertwines a few vital and interconnected subjects: climate change, secure food production and consumption, and smart farming for the empowerment of young individuals. If you're curious about the fascinating world of indoor cultivation and interested in learning from industry leaders, then this webinar is exactly for you. Allow me to introduce to you Hjalmar Van Der Buchwald, an expert with 7 years of experience in the field. Today we're going to discover the secrets behind Hjalmar's success and get a glimpse into the incredible work his company is doing. Before we start, I want to mention that we have 6 more webinars on the topic of vertical farming coming up, so you can stay updated by visiting our Facebook page. Well, without further ado, let's welcome our speaker, Hjalmar. Hjalmar, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Joanna, for this introduction. My name is Hjalmar. I'm 27 years old, and we are here today to talk about possibilities and opportunities in the vertical farming sector. This is what I will be talking about, and we will have a Q&A session afterwards. So if you have any questions, just write it down, and then we will take it together after the presentation is done. I will not be using a PowerPoint or anything. I will just be talking, but it's all being recorded, and I will also give you my notes afterwards so that you can come back and see everything once more if that is something that you want. I'm going to start a little bit by telling my personal history, just for 1-2 minutes here, and then we'll get into the history of the company and our work, and later on opportunities in the sector, and yeah, we'll take it as we come along. But
Okay, so good morning or afternoon, dear guests. Welcome to our fourth webinar about vertical farming, part of Equine Plus project. With our webinars, we embark on a journey that intertwines a few vital and interconnected subjects: climate change, secure food production and consumption, and smart farming for the empowerment of young individuals. If you're curious about the fascinating world of indoor cultivation and interested in learning from industry leaders, then this webinar is exactly for you. Allow me to introduce to you Hjalmar Van Der Buchwald, an expert with 7 years of experience in the field. Today we're going to discover the secrets behind Hjalmar's success and get a glimpse into the incredible work his company is doing. Before we start, I want to mention that we have 6 more webinars on the topic of vertical farming coming up, so you can stay updated by visiting our Facebook page. Well, without further ado, let's welcome our speaker, Hjalmar. Hjalmar, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Joanna, for this introduction. My name is Hjalmar. I'm 27 years old, and we are here today to talk about possibilities and opportunities in the vertical farming sector. This is what I will be talking about, and we will have a Q&A session afterwards. So if you have any questions, just write it down, and then we will take it together after the presentation is done. I will not be using a PowerPoint or anything. I will just be talking, but it's all being recorded, and I will also give you my notes afterwards so that you can come back and see everything once more if that is something that you want. I'm going to start a little bit by telling my personal history, just for 1-2 minutes here, and then we'll get into the history of the company and our work, and later on opportunities in the sector, and yeah, we'll take it as we come along. But
thank you so much, Hjalmar.
Yes,
maybe now we
course.
can proceed to the questions, or
yeah, we're gonna do a Q&A session, and if you have anything, just let me know here now. We will take this with everybody here, and also if you want it, I will put up all my notes from the presentation that you can read. And if you have any question to it, I have left my contact info at the bottom. so that you also can contact me directly if you want to ask me some questions more personally. But yeah, if there's any question, just come on and shoot, and I will try my best to answer them.
I have a question. Thank you very much
Yes.
for this presentation. I'm also involved in. Can you hear me well? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm also involved in this project, and the project aims to inspire youth to kind of dive into vertical farming, into try vertical farming. And I think
Yeah.
you hit all the main topics of the project with this. I just have one minor question that we've been kind of having throughout the seminars or this series of webinars. And one of them is that vertical farming often requires investment. And this can be a big challenge, especially for youth. So what are some of the options, or what has worked for you to kind of start with this business?
Thank you, Marco. That is a really great question, actually, because any business would require some form of investment, whether it's personal investment, investing time, or investing money. What we did was we have been bootstrapping all the way. We haven't loaned any money or anything. We had some small, what can you say, capital that we could use. We were in that lucky position that we had a different company using the equipment or selling the equipment that we needed to use, so we could buy it from ourselves at a very low price. But what you would need, for example, for what we needed in the start, I can just say from our own experience that we went down to a thrift shop and bought a shelving unit for like 10 euros. And then we bought some trays and we bought some mediums, and we went online and bought some seeds. And then we were pretty much growing for less than 100 euro. And with the trays we sold, we were already making the money back that we had spent. So it can be done in an economically viable way if you just you of course have to look at what can you offer and what should you take from it. Pricing is also very important in this. Should you start with a low or a high price, and how do you reach your customers the best way? Yeah.
Thank you very much. I posted the question also in the chat, but thank you very much.
I'm just gonna have to be like 30 seconds. I have to get my charger. 2 seconds. Oh. Yeah, sorry about that. But it wouldn't have been very good if I ran out of power in the middle of the Q&A.
It's okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah, so in the description of the event, I read you have a branch in both Czech Republic and Austria. Can you tell us a little bit about how did this happen?
Yes, of course. For the one in Austria, it was very funny actually. We were at an expo at the summer in Amsterdam, something called Green Tech. It's a very big greenhouse and vertical farming expo that's here in Amsterdam every year. Something, if you're very interested in vertical farming, you should definitely attend. I will also be there next year. But that is where we met the guy from Austria that wanted to do vertical farming. And the funny thing was that he had seen us on YouTube. We have this page, Vertical Greens, and he had seen pretty much all our videos, and he was confident that we were the right partners to choose to work with. The one in Czech Republic was a young student, a girl who had seen our work as well and thought that we were some good people to choose as partners in this business adventure. Yeah. So it's actually both of them were people that have contacted us. We haven't really been chasing that business opportunity so much, but we are very glad that people want to work with us. And of course, we want to help them. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And we have one question. Oh, okay, two questions in the message
in the chat.
section. Yes.
Yeah.
So first is, can you share some insights on the sustainability aspect of vertical farming and how it aligns with environmental and social goals? Big question.
Yeah. Okay, so that is the question from Hayat, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, insights on the sustainability aspect. Well, you have to. I think you would say that you would have to compare some of the production methods to one another to see where the sustainability happens. And when you're looking at normal agriculture, that is, yeah, you can see that we use a lot of energy and a lot of space for this. One of the sustainability impacts in this way could be that we are taking away nature to make farmland, which is not good for biodiversity. It is not good for overall natural wildlife, and we are destroying the soil as well with using pesticides and very hard nutrients and intensive agricultural farming. Doing that in a vertical setup would, first of all, it would free up all the space on the land. It would bring back the biodiversity. It would bring back more wildlife. It would also not ruin the soil, and pesticides would not get into the soil or into the groundwater, which then is being drank by humans. So that is also a very big negative of agricultural farming, I think, when they are using pesticides at least. And how it aligns with environmental and social goals. You could say that when we are doing vertical farming, in our case, we are using sustainable energy sources, and we are doing it with much less water than is used in agricultural farming, because in agricultural farming, most of the water just evaporates when they are watering anyway. We get 100% use of our water. Any water that is excess is being filtered and reused, so there's not really any water waste that way. Social goals, well, we have created jobs opportunities for a lot of people, a lot of young people as well, and have learned a lot of young people about what farming is and how we can farm in this new way and what kind of advantages there is to this. And it's also very good to bring out some knowledge in the form of, well, last week I was doing a workshop for 10 teachers that all have students that they work with they work with them, teaching them how to grow, how to make food and how to understand biology. So being at that workshop, teaching them that is also something that they are going to go home and teach to others. Is also very nice, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you have a vertical farm, you can also do community supported agriculture, where you so people from the community have subscription to your to your vertical farm. So every month they receive fresh produce, or yes, like you can use it for education purposes, and you can have tours of your vertical farm.
Oh yeah,
And
we have a lot of tours at the farm. Yeah.
Yes, and then also the air will be cleaner. So these because when there is a big city, usually the food is coming from
There's a lot of
sometimes from
import of
far.
foods, and there's a lot of import of foods and a lot of food miles driving up emissions in the dense populated area. If you had the possibility of growing the crops in the area, you wouldn't have any need for transportation to the area with produce at all, because the produce was being made within the city. It makes it hyper local, and it makes it way more sustainable. We're talking a lot about food miles and the distance of from farm to table, and we need to shorten that any way we can, as much as possible as we can, to become more sustainable.
Yeah, and then we have more questions actually in the chat section. The first one after Hayat's. If vertical farming can be started with accessible amount of resources, why do you think government and local institutions aren't investing more on these initiatives? What do you think is needed to convince them?
I think that is also a really good question. I think that especially in the case here in Denmark, Denmark is a country that is very big on agriculture. And we have the Ministry of Agriculture being highly intertwined with the producers of normal agriculture on farmland. They have a lot of influence over the ministry, unfortunately. So they want to maintain a status quo in some ways, even though the farming practices and techniques are outdated and they are directly bad for the environment. They just have a lot of money and they have a lot of subsidies and they are helping each other a lot. So it's really tough to get it on the market. But of course, some of us plant producer and vertical farmers are trying to go together and to speak with a collected and a combined voice, so that people are paying more attention to us. But it's why they are not investing more. I think it's coming because you see the interest from the people and from the society, that they can see that there are somebody here that have some great solutions to some of our problems and challenges, and we should try to focus more on that. And by that, they are pushing the regulators in the direction that we want to go. Yeah.
Yes, usually the subsidies for business owners in agriculture are given per square meter of land. But I think in vertical farming can be, well, in the previous webinar, we had vertical farm from Belgium, and they want to invest in carbon capture technology. So they will be receiving credits for carbon capturing, so carbon farming. Maybe this is the way to beat the system through the carbon credits, like, and still like, yeah. Maybe this can be a way how new entrepreneurs can receive, actually not new, because you need to have some money to invest in that technology, but yeah.
Yeah,
after you grow.
For normal agriculture here in Denmark, at least, it's very easy to get the subsidies. But when you're coming in here as with a new type of farming, and you're disrupting the status quo and trying to go in and change how the ways are working, it's very easy. It has not been very easy for us to get grants or subsidies or even investments. In the beginning has been hard for us, but we have learned to just do it all by ourselves without grants or subsidies or anything.
Even on European level?
Yeah, I don't know how many grants they're giving out to vertical farms in the Europe, sorry, but I know for a fact that in Denmark nobody are receiving anything.
We have one last question in the chat. Is what kind of medical plants do you grow, and why did you decide to grow them? And what are the target market? Good. I would just add, maybe, like, how do you find the collaborators or the companies you work with? Do they find you? Do you find them? Is it easy?
Yeah, we have only been working on one project with the medicinal plants until now. I'm sorry, but I cannot remember what the name of the plant is at the moment. But there are a lot of different very quick crops for medicinal purposes. Also mushrooms. There are a lot of medicinal mushrooms as well out there. Even don't have to be with the psilocybin or anything, but there are a lot of health benefits to gain from eating mushrooms regularly. For example, you could look into a mushroom that is called lion's mane. We also grow that one here, but that has a lot of health benefits, especially for your brain. The targeted market would be medicinal producers. We have a lot of that here in Denmark, but the target, and it's fairly easy to reach them because some of them we already delivered the things to their canteens. So if we're coming in and say we might have something for a production line as well, and we have stable production of it, you don't have to depend on seasons or weather. The thing about they are paying attention to is the production security. The stable deliveries of the product is something that is in a manufacturer's eyes very important. I know it from myself. We source our seeds for the production from different places. And if I don't have the correct seeds in time, well, sure, funny enough, we are not growing that crop at the moment. And that can be a really big problem if we have a crop that is selling for, let's say, thousands of euros every week, and suddenly we don't have it. So yeah, delivery, stability in the delivery is very important for any manufacturer.
Okay, and we have one raised hand.
Last question.
Yeah.
Yes, hello. My question is a bit more technical about the more specific techniques and technologies that you use for the cultivation of microgreens and mushrooms, and if you can explain them and what makes them efficient and sustainable.
Okay, well, I would definitely say that our production methods in both the microgreens and the mushrooms are efficient and sustainable for sure. Of course, we do have some energy consumption, but we make sure that we only buy energy that is certified green. That means that it comes from, for example, a windmill. And therefore is not affecting the nature in the same way as a coal plant produced energy would. So we have that for energy. Our water is extremely efficient. We only use the water that the plant needs. Excess water is recycled and filtered and reused. And that's also a very good thing for the sustainability. And for the mushrooms, well, we use waste products for the production, as I explained earlier with the coffee grounds, and then we also use sawdust or from tree manufacturing, the tree, the smoldering parts is what we use for growing mushrooms as well. So we're taking waste products and giving them new life for food production. So it's a circular, what do you call it, circuit for the production. Yeah. So that's just some examples of what and how you can do try to be more sustainable. Also, with our deliveries, we only deliver locally. So we are only delivering in what I would say like a 60-kilometer radius of where this factory is, the site of the production. So that is also, we've done that to take into consideration this thing about the food miles. And we want to be a local supplier. If we want to be supplying to an area that is maybe 200 kilometers from here, yes, okay, then we will try to establish a production in that area that we can have another local production in that area, whether it be a franchise, a joint venture, or a partnership in any other way, or if we just do it ourselves. That is up for open interpretation how it would work out, but there are different ways of doing that also, of course. But yeah, those are just some of the examples I would say that we are doing to produce in a more sustainable way. And was
thank you very much for answering.
You're welcome. Was there a question about some technical stuff as well? I don't remember. No?
Thank you very much for answering the questions and for the interesting presentation. I think we've stayed a little longer than we had to, but it's okay. It was very interesting presentation. Part of a series of webinars of this Echoing Plus project. This is a 2-year project funded or co-funded by the European Commission, led by an organization in France, and it's composed of a partnership of 6 organizations. We will have more webinars, so please join us for the next webinars. You're more than invited, as well as the participants who are still here. I don't know if maybe you have some closing remarks that you would like to comment.
No, not something in particular. I just wanted to say that if there is anybody that want to reach out, I am leaving all the notes with Joanna and my contact info as well. And through her, you can contact me. If you are already a vertical farmer or want to be, but just don't know exactly how to do it, I hope you had some insights from this presentation. And if you need anything further, don't hesitate to contact me, or and I will try to help you with the best of my knowledge. Yeah.
Thank you. And yes, I mean, we will upload also this webinar that's being recorded into our website, as well as the website of your organization and so on. So thank you very much again.
That's fine. Yeah, you're
Thank you,
very
Anna.
welcome. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you probably on the next webinars again. So
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye.